Yeah, we are going live.
Yeah, we are live.
Respected delegates from across country and continent and academia, a very good afternoon to one all present here. This is RJ Venkat Pritesh from Department of Marketing Management. I take this opportunity to welcome you all on behalf of the organizing committee of Guru Nanak Center for Research Department of Marketing Management, Guru Nanak College, for Day 3 of the International Industry Academia Conclave on education in a part-COVID world challenges and novel strategies. The day two session was a rich 50 minutes knowledge sharing to all students of this college. Now, I would like to invite Dr. LRS Kalanidhi, Vice Principal of Student Affairs of Guru Nanak College, Autonomous, Chennai, India, for welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Vignesh. Good afternoon to our most respected resource person and all present on the third day of the International Industry Academia Conclave, IIAC 2021, on education in a post-COVID world, challenges and novel strategies, organized by Guru Nanak Center for Research in association with the Department of BCom Marketing Management. Ladies and gentlemen, when the whole world was paralyzed with the pandemic, our Guru Nanak College arose and awoke to change the bitter reality to better actuality with no casualty. Yes, right from the first week of April 2020 till date, one after the other, we have been conducting, organizing lots of quiz programs, webinars, workshops, FDPs at the national and international level, conclaves, department-wise, and with the help of our Guru Nanak Center for Research. This is yet another golden opportunity to learn about the topic education in post-COVID world. On behalf of our esteemed management, our General Secretary and Correspondent, Mr. Manjit Singh Nair, respected Principal Dr. N.G. Raghunathan, Vice Principal Shift 2 Dr. Rajashri, Controller of Examinations, Dean Research Dr. J. Jayanti, and Head Department of BCom Marketing Management, Mrs. Maya Lakshmi Pillai, Dr. Uttara, and all colleagues of BCom Marketing Management, and all present here. I wholeheartedly welcome our most distinguished resource person, Dr. Suhail M. Ghouse, Associate Professor, Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, College of Commerce and Business Administration, Dhofar University, Salalah, Oman. Sir, thank you very much for having accepted our invitation to share your deeper knowledge and wider expertise on the topic marketing in post-COVID environment. Thank you very much for being with us. We are very eager to listen to you. Hearty welcome to all the participants of this international event. And I request all of you January. And this IIAC is till 19th February. I request all of you to kindly patronize and benefit out of this program. Dear friends, knowledge has no bounds. Let's learn, co-learn, unlearn, and relearn for the betterment of all. And I thank the organizers, the Guru Nanak Center for Research, Dr. J. Jayanti, the Head Department of Marketing Management, Mrs. Maya Lakshmi Pillai, and all the organizers for the opportunity given to me to welcome this August gathering with the resource person here with us. Best wishes to the organizers, the resource person, and the participants. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. Now, I request Ms. Uttara, Associate Professor, Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, to introduce our speaker of the day, Dr. Suhail M. Please.
Good afternoon to one and all. Dr. Suhail M. Ghouse is an Associate Professor of Marketing and Entrepreneurship at the College of Commerce and Business Administration, Dhofar University, Oman. He holds a PhD in Marketing and double Masters in International Business Management. He is a Fellow of Chartered Institute of Marketing CIM UK and a Chartered Management Business Educator CMBE from the Chartered Association of Business Schools UK. His research areas include entrepreneurship in emerging economies, consumer behavior, export promotion, internationalization of SMEs, etc. His research has been published in leading journals like International Journal of Entrepreneurial Behavior and Research, Journal of Entrepreneurship in Emerging Economies, International Journal of Entrepreneurship and Small Business, Young Consumers, Journal of Islamic Marketing, etc. and he serves as a member of the additional board scientific committees of peer-reviewed research journals and conferences. He has taught at undergraduate and postgraduate levels in India, Saudi Arabia, and Oman. It is pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you. Welcome. We welcome you once again on behalf of the organizing committee of Guru Nanak College. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear all, may I now request Dr. Sahil M. Kushe, Associate Professor of Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, College of Commerce and Business Administration, Dhofar University, Salalah, Oman, to address our participants of the webinar. Please, sir.
Thank you. Yes, good afternoon to all of you. And I would like to thank the Guru Nanak Center for Research and the Department of Commerce, Marketing Management for, providing me this opportunity to speak on COVID-19 and its impact on the entrepreneurship education. So, and I would also like to thank the principal, Dr. Kalaniti, and the Dean Research, Dr. Jayanti. Okay, and now I will start the the discussion over the COVID-19 and entrepreneurship education. Now, yes. So, let us talk about the introduction. Okay, COVID-19. Okay, yeah.
Sir, excuse me one.
Yeah, am I audible or not?
Yeah, it's audible, sir, but you can do slideshow, sir.
Slides are not showing?
No, there is an option of slideshow in the PPT, right? You can go for that.
Okay. Okay, now okay? Is it okay now?
Is it you've done slideshow, sir? Is it slideshow view?
Yeah, this is the slideshow view.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So, dear, guest, okay, all of us know that this COVID-19, this pandemic, it is a serious challenge to all of us, and everyone has been, affected through this pandemic. Now, all the, entities inside the, economic ecosystem, okay, I'm talking about the whole economy. That is the government, that is the regulatory bodies, and all the as well as the institutions, which include the social institutions also, like and a very good example is the educational institutions. Okay, so they are also impacted by this COVID-19. Now, specifically, I am going to talk about the management education because I am into management education. So I am going to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on the management education, especially related to the education of entrepreneurship in the universities, higher education institutes. So this is a serious challenge to the management education, especially for the international students and the courses that have an experiential nature. Now, we have a variety of courses into the management streams. Okay, some are theoretical courses, while some are practical oriented courses, or we can say experiential courses. So some type of experiments are involved, okay, into the management courses also, like this pandemic, it is making a problem especially to the international students. Okay, local students are also affected, but especially in case of international students who are coming from different countries. Okay, nowadays especially this management education, it has become internationalized, it has become globalized. Okay, we have multinational universities. Okay, it is not only at one place, but there it is, they have been expanded to several countries, and that is the internationalization of educational institutions. Like Harvard, it has study centers in different countries. This several British universities, they have overseas centers. One of the leading uh, business school inside, okay, which is from France. Okay, it has you know mm, overseas centers in 3 or 4 different countries, including Singapore, okay, Dubai, and I think one more place, I think in US. So this has been the research of Brammer and Clark 2020 and Marshall and Wolanskite Spinner in 2020. So they say that this is a serious challenge to the management education, especially for the international students and the courses. Now, what kind of problems are posed on the on us or on the students? Uh, the main challenge is the restrictions on the mass gatherings and the social distancing requirements. Okay, which is now legalized, and if one is not going to follow, okay, they are going to be penalized. So this has become a serious challenge to the educational institutions. Now, in the universities, in the classes, basically, it is very, very difficult. It is a really serious challenge, okay, to allow social distancing, because uh, before the pandemic, okay, all the university institutions, they used to have a specific size of a class. Okay, it could be 16 students, it could be 20 students, it could be 25 students, or 30 students, depending upon the nature of the course. If it is a theoretical course, okay, there could be more enrollments, and if it is a experiential type of course, okay, there will be less enrollments, but still students are there, and it is a classroom, physical classroom. So now when there is a restrictions and there is social distancing, it has become a serious challenge. And now what is the response during the pandemic? It is the quick shift to the online teaching methods, okay, which is basically which is a research of Vanessa Ratten in 2020. And because of these restrictions, okay, there has been a increase in the courses which are taught through remote and digital communication methods. Now, when we are talking about the international students, okay, like for example, I will give you the example of Chinese students, especially. China is the world largest country with the population, and Chinese students, they are highly internationalized. They are studying in many countries, like near to them there is Singapore, Hong Kong is there. Okay, Hong Kong is their own part. Then Australia is there, New Zealand is there, and when we move to the west, okay, United States is there, Canadian universities are there, then European universities are there. So everywhere they are present. I'm just giving an example, however it is applicable to all students over the world, international student, but specifically since this has been cited into the research, okay, so I'm giving the example of Chinese students. All of us, we are aware that we know that this pandemic, it is started from China. Okay, and when this pandemic was declared in March 2020, okay, by the World Health Organization. So restrictions, suddenly there were restrictions, and uh, the government were taking precautions in, or they were taking measures how to stop or how to have a control over this pandemic. And since all of us, they know that it is spreading from China, so So the Chinese students especially, they were restricted into coming to their countries. So there were border closures, and there was a limited international travel, which has restricted of the mobility of the international students and the business activities. Now let us talk about, this was just a short scenario of the COVID-19 and the management schools. So what was their response during the pandemic? Now we will talk about the entrepreneurship education, and then we will discuss that how this COVID-19 is going to impact the entrepreneurship education, and what is the impact on the entrepreneurship students, those students who are enrolled into the entrepreneurship programs, or they are going to be graduated into the through the entrepreneurship specialization. So let us talk about entrepreneurship education. Now, as I told you before in the beginning of this session, that it is a experiential type of course. It is not a theoretical course. It is not completely theoretical course, but it involves a practical element also, an experiential element also. Okay, because the teacher, the entrepreneurship educator, is going to develop certain types of skills into the students. What kind of skills we will talk about? Okay, so let me define entrepreneurship education. So we can define this entrepreneurship education as any pedagogical program or process of education for the entrepreneurial attitudes and skills. So any education, any program, educational program which is going to develop the entrepreneurship attitudes and skills of the students, it is going to be known as entrepreneurship program. Actually, entrepreneurship has emerged as a separate branch of study or learning in the late 90s, or we can say in early 2000. Before that also universities were teaching entrepreneurship, but actually it was not named as entrepreneurship, but it was in the form of small business management. Okay, so that type of courses were there, where there was a education related to small and business enterprises, or how to manage the small businesses, or how to manage the family businesses, or like that. Okay, so, and this course, it involves is entrepreneurship education. It involves developing it focuses on the personal skills of the students, okay, through the application, through the design and the implementation of innovative, futuristic and proactive strategies to an educational environment. So application is there, design is there, and implementation of the innovative, futuristic, okay, and proactive strategies. Entrepreneurship education is a collective of initiatives operating in the universities, community colleges, vocational colleges, or you can say vocational institutes, high schools, and elementary or the primary schools also. Although it is not evident in India, because in India we are into the emerging state, or at the initial stages of entrepreneurial education. There is a entrepreneurship development institute in Ahmedabad, okay, which is doing a very good job in spreading entrepreneurship education in India. And now all the universities, like the IITs, or the major universities, the top institutes in educational institutes in India, they are implementing entrepreneurship programs. Okay, but that is at a beginning stage. But if we if we look around the programs in the Western countries, like United States, in Canada, or in the Western European universities, okay, they have a complete specialization of entrepreneurship programs. Why? Because in those countries, especially the small business, it plays a very, very important part of their overall economy. So they are focusing on entrepreneurial development from a very beginning stage, especially from the primary schools, where school children, they are taught about entrepreneurship. Okay, and what are
Sir,
the implications?
sorry for the interruption, sir.
Yes.
I think have you changed to second slide, or you are still continuing in first slide?
Shall I go back to the first slide?
Actually, you are in second slide, sir. You
Yeah,
haven't.
this is the yeah, this is the second slide.
Yes, sir. Now you are talking about that entrepreneur education, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think you haven't crossed this third slide.
Sorry.
Sir, have you finished this introduction?
Yeah, introduction has been finished.
Now I think the presentation has stopped. You are still continuing in second slide in introduction part.
Uh,
Yes, now it's correct, sir. Yeah, now it's visible.
is it working now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Yes, can you please switch off your mic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is some sound coming. I think it is from your end. Yes, thank you. Okay. So we were talking about the entrepreneurship education in the several in the different levels of educational institutes, and as I told you that this education, it has witnessed a phenomenal growth over the last decade, and now it is a common course in most of the business schools. Now, this entrepreneurship education, it can be defined as something, or it can be defined as a study, as a course, or a pedagogy which is going to teach the skills to start and manage a business for growth. But now, recently it has changed, as more students are interested in acquiring knowledge about entrepreneurial behavior, which is not necessarily linking to start a business enterprise. Okay, it is not necessary that after learning the this entrepreneurship courses or taking entrepreneurship education, it is mandatory to start a business enterprise. No, there is another form of entrepreneurship which is known as intrapreneurship. Okay, which is basically designed to promote the entrepreneurial behavior among the business managers into the corporate world. Okay, now we have managers in the corporate world, in the various companies. Okay, they are working just like a manager, but they don't have an entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, so these courses, they are going to encourage the managers also, okay, to behave into an entrepreneurial manner. Okay, and it is also encouraging the university graduates to think about the future career directions, which is a research of Rattan and Jones in 2020, and which may include to start for a startup. Okay, you are going to set up your own business. It could be a small business management. Okay, you are going to manage a small business, or corporate venturing also. Now, entrepreneurship education is recognized for its ability to teach practical skills and obtain knowledge about how to help the communities and promote a improved quality of life. Okay, so either it depends upon the objective of the individual, that what is the purpose for obtaining this entrepreneurship knowledge. Either it is for financial incentives, or it is for social development. You are going to be a full-time entrepreneur. Okay, and your objective is to for business growth and profitability, or you are going to be a social entrepreneur doing something good for the society. Now it has become complex. Okay, before it was simple, but now as we are emerging, this education is becoming more and more complex to take a variety of topics, okay, according to the nature of entrepreneurship, which are related to creativity, which are related to innovation and futuristic thinking. The educators of entrepreneurship, they are now focusing on managing the expectations of the students, okay, how to be more resilient, okay, how to be more and more resilient. That means to develop the resiliency into the students, how they are going to bounce back, okay, how they are going to deal with stressful conditions, how they are going to work into the unfavorable conditions. And that entrepreneur, if an individual is going to opt entrepreneurship as a career, okay, entrepreneurship is a very difficult task, okay, because of the shortage of the resources. And you can say it is a one man army. One person, the entrepreneur, he is going to manage each and everything, and he has to become a leader. He is not going to behave like a manager, but he has to behave like a leader. Now let us talk about the curriculum of entrepreneurship education. Okay, what kind of curriculum we are going to have. Now in the curriculum, in the entrepreneurship curriculum, the educators, they are going to talk about the worldly problems, okay, the problems encountered in the businesses, okay, as it is going to provide a way for the students to help the societal issues through focusing on their intentions, entrepreneurial intentions of the students, to become more and more entrepreneurship oriented. So the entrepreneurship education, it tries to include both the hard and the soft skills in order to contribute a lifelong learning. Now the hard skills, they include the like for example role specific skills. Okay, you are going to work, what is your specialty, what is your area, okay, like these are the role specific, that according to the role of the entrepreneur. And the soft skills means the overall personality, persona of the individual, or the you can say a more better term, personability of the individual, okay, which are the soft skills to being a better human being. Emphasis of entrepreneurship on its real life suitability that reflects changing societal conditions. Hence, entrepreneurship education, unlike other scientific areas that are more theoretical based, offers a promising way to teach how to deal with the COVID-19 crisis. Because COVID-19 is also it is a pandemic, and it is related to the society. Okay, society is going to be highly impacted by the COVID-19. Okay, and just now we have discussed that entrepreneurship is going to equip the students with in solving societal issues, and this is also a very big global scale societal issue. So how to overcome this or how to deal with the COVID-19 crisis, okay, entrepreneurship curriculum is going to play a important role. This education is widely considered a way to enhance the competitiveness of any country or industry. So it provides opportunities in the COVID-19 pandemic to progress to a more competitive educational environment. And this is a very, very important research by Liguri and Winkler in the year 2020. So this is, the entrepreneurship education. So there are different streams within the entrepreneurship education reflecting its intricate nature, and it is taught at undergraduate, graduate, and the doctoral levels from different perspectives, including micro, macro, and meso levels. Micro perspective, it focuses on managing the small business and teaching to, teaching the students for a small business venture creation. Okay, so they are taught how to open a new business venture, especially they are going to open a small business. Then the macro perspective, it focuses on the global entrepreneurship issues in big companies. Okay, they are uh, teaching the students how to be a, how to instill entrepreneurial, behavior among the business managers. And the meso focus, meso perspective of entrepreneurship education, it is, it is to, develop, social and community entrepreneurship, how to be a social entrepreneur and how to be a community entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurs are the change agents pursuing opportunities into the marketplace. So, entrepreneurship education has a positive impact on students' capabilities and ability to adjust to the emerging technologies into the, you know, environment, or you can say a better term, ecosystem. It involves a variety of activities which include both in class and out of the class learning, because uh, this type of education, it requires, practical oriented education also. So many other elements are to be added into, rather than only theoretical, teaching. In one of the latest researches done by Ahmed and his team, describe entrepreneurship program as consisting of several components, including course content. Okay, it could be the course content like the lecture material, PowerPoints. Okay, then there is a very, the it a very, it is very important to involve the guest lecturers, or you can say the guest lectures, okay, into the curriculum, because industry has to be, collaborated with the education. And this kind of program, okay, it since it is a practical experiential type of learning, so a student has to be made aware with the practical experiences, with the, experiences of the, corporates, with the experiences of the successful entrepreneurs. Okay, so guest speakers, it is a, very intrinsic part of the entrepreneurship education. Then online resources are there, and the module modes of the, or you can say the module of the delivery, and the course goals also, like learning introductory concepts and the theory compared to the learning specific skills. In the COVID-19, course content can change to reflect new environment context, while the course goals can remain the same depending on the entrepreneurial intent. Okay, this is also a very, highly cited research, okay, by Avery Sharma and Venta Olkonen in 2020. Now, we are going to talk about entrepreneurial intentions and attitudes. It is basically, now through the entrepreneurship education, what we are going to focus. Why basically this education is experiential in nature? It is because, there is the intentions or the intent of the students, as well as the attitudes of the students, they have to be focused upon and they have to be changed. And we have to bring a entrepreneurial, outlook into the, or orientation into the intentions and the attitudes of the students. So most of the research, okay, which has been done on the entrepreneurship education, it is it is related to the entrepreneurial intention and attitudes of the students. Okay, there are several theories, okay, which can be related to relate the entrepreneurship education with the intention and attitudes of the students, like the human capitalist theory. It says that individual study entrepreneurship as a way to build their business skills. Okay, so this is the human capital theory. While the entrepreneurial self-efficacy theory, it says that individual develop skills through entrepreneurship, training, and it is simply a way It is a way through which the students acquire the entrepreneurial skills. Then entrepreneurial intent, it can be defined as a clear and a conscious decision to start a new venture, which allows the students to apply entrepreneurship principles, empowering them to take strategic actions during their, entrepreneurial journey. An entrepreneurial attitude. Now, what is an entrepreneurial attitude? It includes an emphasis on the personal control over a situation that incorporates some degree of innovation, which is important during the COVID-19 crisis. Okay, and strengthening an individual's ability to change a course of action because of their self-esteem and need for achievement. Now, in a very important research by Jenna in the year 2020, okay, she has described three components of an individual's entrepreneurial attitude. Okay, it is the same. Normal attitude has also these three parts. Okay, but when we are going to define the entrepreneurial attitude, the same elements will be there, or the same components of attitude will be there, which are cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Now, in entrepreneurship point of view, okay, the cognitive component, it involves the student beliefs, knowledge, and thought processes. Social environment in terms of family, school, and work interaction significant in influencing the feelings towards education. Now, the cognitive component, it includes the beliefs, knowledge, and the thought processes. So how, and the environment, especially in terms of family, okay, what is your family environment, what is your school environment, and what is the, work interaction, okay, like the university, okay, what kind of universities environment is there, like the top ranked, universities, they have, a very, solid infrastructure, or and they have many, facilities. They have, like for example, business incubators are there, okay, which are, very important in entrepreneurship education, like institutes like Babson, okay, in United States. INSET is there, okay. Several British universities like Oxford is there, Cambridge is there, and then, King's College is there. Multiple, like, in Japan or in Hong Kong, University of Science and Technology, in Australia, Melbourne University. So there are several, reputed organizations. In IIT also in Delhi, I have worked with one of the, business incubators in IIT, in as a research collaboration. So, all the topmost institutes, they have, business incubators, which are going to develop the entrepreneurship ability of the students. So this, if, the institute is going to provide such facilities, such kind of environment, obviously it is, it is going to develop the knowledge, beliefs, and thought process of the students. Then the affective component, which is, related to the emotions, feelings of the individual towards education. So students have different motivations and reasons for studying entrepreneurship. So what I feel, what kind of, emotion, or what is my objective, what kind of feeling I have for studying, this course, entrepreneurship, what I want to do, what are my career aspirations, like that. Okay, and finally the behavioral component, it involves individual response towards education, like what are the expectations and the future aspirations of the institute, of the students, like the financial incentives or the societal development. You want to do something for the betterment of the society. Now, the impact of entrepreneurship education, especially into the COVID times. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic emerged at the start of the academic year. Okay, now, actually this, response to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has different, time periods. In the eastern countries, like, in China, like in Japan, like in Taiwan, like in Singapore, or say in India or in oceanic countries like Australia, New Zealand and all that, in Malaysia, okay, it was early, because these countries were the first, okay, who got the infections, COVID-19 infections into their countries. So they got alarmed first, okay, and they got, they thought for the preparations first. So when we are talking about the education, how COVID-19 impacted the education throughout the world, okay, so it was into different time periods, like the eastern countries, okay, they started taking precautions at the in the at the early in the early 2020, while the same crisis happened in the middle of the teaching year into the western countries like United States and the European countries. So the crisis initially related to many international students, mainly restricting the Chinese students not to enter the countries. So what was the focus? The focus was to move to the online teaching to accommodate these students. So this compelled a change to shift classes from regular to online format in early March, when the universities, educational institutes all over the world, they were closed, okay, and there were strict governmental regulations for complete lockdown. Restrictions were eased from December, okay, from December, when when we came to know about the pandemic, okay, and uh, restriction were loosened, okay, there were uh, uh, they were released, okay, and but the again there was a second wave of COVID-19, and again several countries like United Kingdom, like Spain, okay, and other countries, okay, again they imposed the lockdown, that means complete shutdown of the educational institutes. Here we are talking about educational institute, especially the management education, which is going to be, which we are focusing. Now, as we know that just now we have discussed about the entrepreneurial attitudes, okay, the cognitive element of the students. So the campus, it involve it, it has a very a big impact on the intellectual development of the students. Why? Because in the campus, okay, when the students are there, especially when we are talking about the international universities are there, so there is a lot of scope of intellectual development through the peer attraction or peer networks. When students are together, okay, there is a lot of learning through each other. Management is students, okay, who require the experiential learning, okay, they have been highly affected because of the shift from physical to online format. Challenges include quick adaptation to learning, okay, and this is it is a example, a very good example of change management. And change management is always, it always leads to resistance. We all resist to change, because we become comfortable in our own work style. But if it has been imposed, or any type of change it is imposed on an individual, he is definitely going to resist. So there was a resistance also in our institution also, where I am affiliated in Dhofar University. During the pandemic, okay, uh, it was a complete lockdown. So since it is a private university, okay, it is not a government university, so we have to think about the uh, semester also. If the semester is going to be, it is going to be a zero semester, it is going to be a serious challenge to the students also, as well as to the academics also, to the teacher community also. So how it is going to be managed? So it was a very serious challenge. So the challenges includes severe mental hardship, because because there was a sudden change, and since we are not used to online teaching, the academic community as well as the students, they are not before it was, since it was a physical institution, it was not an online learning environment like IGNU, Okay, in India, it is a very, one of the biggest universities, Indira Gandhi Open National University, where everything is, it is uh, uh, online, or you can say, other institutes also which are, practicing online learning. But in case of a uh, university which is, which is doing regular teaching, so suddenly, so all of a sudden, you are going to shift to a new format. Okay, it is going to give a serious challenge. And the physical and the social isolation also. Okay, you are, during the lockdown, people were, struck into their houses. Students were there, okay, and they were also struck. Okay, and when students, yes, yes, please, someone has opened the mic. Please close the mic. Yes, please close the mic. Okay, so this is compelling a change to shift classes from regular to online format in early March, when universities close around the world after declaration of the pandemic. And the restrictions were eased. Okay, this we have already covered. Okay, so campus plays an important role in the intellectual development of the students, which is going to affect the overall learning through the peer networks. Okay, and due to the, sudden change, sudden shift from physical to online format, online teaching, okay, it has been a mental hardship, it is a serious challenge. And also because of the physical and social isolation. When, when a student is studying, in a regular mode, okay, student is, is going for, extracurricular activities, sports, cultural and drama activities. But in in the pandemic, okay, when it has shifted from shifted to online teaching, all these activities, they have been stopped. So there is a overall physical and personality development, okay, because of these, activities. Okay, and all of them have been closed, and it is going to lead a serious implications. Internships, okay, internships are there, like, summer trainings are there, winter trainings are there. Okay, then, uh, dissertation reports are there, for which you have to make surveys, like all these things. Okay, internships, international study tours are there. Okay, now especially in the management education, in the top institutes, okay, there are foreign tours, international learning, then there is a transfer programs. All of a sudden it has stopped. Now the learning, it has been seriously, affected. And the site visits also, in some of my courses which I am teaching here. Okay, I used to take the students to the campus visits, to the industrial visits. They all have stopped, because no one is allowing the students to come over there because of the social distancing norms. So this is, seriously affecting the practical learning of the students. Now let us discuss the positive side of the online teaching. The positive increase in the online activities that recreate the normal environments, allowing students to think and act in a creative way and help building resilience and entrepreneurial thinking, is much needed into the competitive global marketplace. Now, through the online teaching, we are trying to create a, artificial or a virtual environment. Okay, like the physical environment we used to do in the physical environment, but not completely, but we are trying to do it. And I am hopeful that, with the passage of time, it will increase, it will develop, and it will be much better in the coming future. Because when we started, okay, it was a serious challenge, and we don't have any idea how we are going to do. But now, all these, institutions, they are using, different applications, like Zoom is there, Microsoft Teams is there, Moodle is there, Blackboard is there. And now this is the new platform, okay, on which we are, interacting with each other. So this is the new platform. So all these platforms, I am hopeful that they are going to improve and they are going to develop, and through this we are going to develop the education also. Traditional channels, like traditional employment was there, like before, you are graduated from the university and you are going into the market to look for a job. Okay, you are giving test. Okay, you are giving interviews and all that. Okay, so that was a traditional way of looking for an employment. But now there has been a big shift on the online search, as well as the more focus on the gig economy. Like how we are using the social media, how we are using the internet in finding the employment, or how to develop the online ventures. Like a very good example is Facebook and all these. Okay, social media platform, they are all you know it is a part of gig economy. And especially some of the application they have emerged, okay, during the pandemic, like Zoom, like this Microsoft Teams, okay, and all that. So these, especially these platforms, they have emerged, and they are highly successful, highly profitable during the COVID pandemic. Students are likely to have a portfolio career in which different employment paths become available. Hence, less emphasis by the student to find jobs in large firms and public sector, which was the old perception of the students. Okay, if I'm going to get a job into the big company, in a multinational company, okay, I'm going to have a very bright career. Or if I'm going to find a job in the public sector companies like Indian Oil and all that, okay, so it is going to safeguard my career, I will be safe. No, now student, the approach of the student, it has changed, and now they are looking for the online ventures. They are going to be online social entrepreneurs. Young people, they emphasize to think creatively, which is learned through entrepreneurship education. So your creative student, they tend to think more creatively after going through the entrepreneurship education. And there is a need to focus on integrating the hard sciences with the soft sciences for societal good. Now this pandemic, it has given a very good perspective for the social community, as well as the academic committee, as well as the industrial committee, okay, community, sorry, okay, to interrelate the industry with the with the academics, and especially the hard sciences with the soft sciences. Hard sciences, it includes like engineering, biotechnology, okay, and the medical sciences. And the sciences, it includes management education, especially the entrepreneurship education. So how the entrepreneurs, they are going to be connected with the hard sciences, like medical institutes, biotechnological institutes, or with the engineering institutes. Now a very good example, okay, just now I will show you here this product. It is sanitizer. Okay, this is the sanitizer. Now what is the role of sanitizer, especially all through the pandemic? Okay, this is going to be the one of the most important things for our safety. Okay, we are wherever we are going, okay, it has become a necessity to to rub your hands with the sanitizer. So it is going to keep you safe. Now how this emerged? What is this product? Before the pandemic, we never used it. We used to see it only into the medical institutes, into the hospitals. Why? Because they have to clean their hand before they are going to touch the patient, or they are going to perform any surgical activity. But now it is a part of our home. So now what is it? This is a medical product. It is a medicinal product. Now but now it has become a OTC product, over the counter product, where you can find it not only into the medical shops, but you can find it in the regular stores also. So wherever you are going for shopping, okay, you will find this as one of the most important elements or products into the holy store. Gloves are there, masks are there, okay, and other things we are using. Okay, it is all a after the interaction, or after the uh, mm, of the medical community with the entrepreneurial committee. So now you can see that how many ventures they have been started making all these products. How many companies, new companies they have been started, okay, they are making gloves, they are making face masks, okay, and they are making these medical products also, so many. Now it is a hot area of entrepreneurship, the medical. So integration is very important. Even yesterday I saw a online article that this Louis Vuitton, which is the world largest luxury goods maker from France, okay, they are making their own fashion mask. Okay, now you have a luxury mask also, which is very expensive. So they have also diversified into mask. Why? Because it is now a part of our life. Okay, and thanks for listening. So this was all about the presentation. Actually, I have made it short because there is some lack of time, and again I have to go for the meeting. So I thank you for providing this opportunity, and now I invite you to for the questions. If you have any questions you want to ask me, I would be very happy to give you the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for valuable words. And now, I would like to call students to pose their questions in the chat box. Please, students.
So I think the students are very much clear with your points, sir. There is no questions in the chat box. So Venkat, you can forward.
Thank you, sir.
You are
Actually,
right.
your session was really very warming, and it was really very enthusiastic. And I love
Thank you,
this.
sir.
It's our pleasure
Thank you.
to attend this meeting, sir. Thank you once again, sir. And now I would like to invite Ms. Maya Lakshmi, Head Department of Marketing Management and Organizing Committee, for the vote of thanks. Please.
Thank you, Vignesh. So good evening to all, and it's time to express our gratitude to the gathering. On behalf of Guru Nanak College, Center for Research and Department of Commerce Marketing Management, Guru Nanak College, Chennai, I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all who witnessed the third day of the International Industry Academia Conclave, IIAC 2021, on education in a post-COVID world, challenges and novel strategies. Like the last 2 days, I can surely say that the participant witnessed a memorable and a successful event. I take this opportunity to thank the management, our respected General Secretary and Correspondent, Sardar Manjit Singh Nayarji, our Principal, Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, Vice Principal Student Affairs, Dr. L.R.S. Kalanidhi, Vice Principal Shift 2, Dr. N.C. Rajeshri, and Dean Research, Dr. J. Jayanti, for giving us freedom and encouragement to explore this webinar, to keep ourselves with the abreast of the latest happening in the industry and the globe during this lockdown period. I'd like to thank our resource person for the third day, Dr. Suhail M. Ghouse, Associate Professor, Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship, Dhofar University, Oman. We are truly honored to have you with us, sir. You are such a dynamic and talented professional, and it was really happy to have you here, and you have given such valuable and informative inputs about the field of marketing and entrepreneurship. So thank you, thank you once again. And I would like to thank the staff members of Guru Nanak Center for Research and Department of Commerce, Marketing Management, without whose support the arrangement for this webinar would not have been possible for us. A special thanks to Dr. Sharmila, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, for her excellent technical support. I would like to offer my gratitude to all the faculty members, research scholars, corporate representatives, and my dear student participants whose presence made this conclave a grand success. Last but not the least, I thank the Almighty for giving us the strength and energy to make this event possible. Participants, kindly note that you will find a Google form link in the comment section. Kindly send your feedback. So thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And
Thank you,
by
sir.
these words, I would like to wind up the session. Thank you once again. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye bye.